all, welcome to my channel. I'm Mark, this is Mark's Mods, and today guys we're going to be doing our Photo-Etched Titanic build. So we are going to do issue 138 of Build a Titanic. So yeah, not many to go now, including this one, 3 to go. So yeah, now these last 3 we have got an absolute ton to do, but it's going to transform the ship. What we are doing, we are putting a lot of detail on. From photo etch to decals to you name it, we've got it to do. So this should be rather fun. Goodness knows how long this video is going to be. I have not got a clue, but hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. Anyway, let's get started with today's build. So with all that said, let's get modelling. Okay guys, here we go. So issue 138, we've got a lot to do. The first thing it's asking us to do, we need to put a decal just onto there. So I'm just gonna wet the area. Get the decal which have been soaking. And we want to try and move this off the backing paper and onto the ship. It's going to be quite difficult but doable. Now, if my memory serves me correct, this sticker or decal is the one that Howland and Wolf put on to say it was built by them. Really does not want to come off its backing paper. So I've soaked it for long enough, so it should, but the decal is so small. It doesn't want to come off. Let's just try a cocktail stick. Right, it's off. Whew. Okay, not the easiest, but these things are sent to triers. Okay, so I'm just going to use a wet cotton bud just to manoeuvre this into place. Dry it off. Me and decals, I'm never happy with them. Okay, I'm happy with that now. Okay, so we have another one to put on. Well, we've actually got 2 more to put on. So, we need one just down here, just by the stairwell. How? Why couldn't we done this before we put all this on? Because the room, there isn't a lot of room. Just wetting my cotton bud again just gives me some more movement. It's easy that it wants to go down, but it just doesn't want to move upwards. Now I think we have got some spares of these, so if things go wrong, we can sort it, but was a sign for people going up the steps. Come on. Almost. Almost. Okay, just slightly slanted. Yeah, that's perfect. Right, the next one is actually going to go onto just down here. It's going to be really hard to get the camera positioned, but I'll do my best. Okay. Now looking at this, it's going to want to go on. It's the same decal, but I'm just working out whereabouts it is. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going on to this one just here. So if I just get a cocktail stick and mark whereabouts it's got to go. So just there. It's the same sticker as before. I'm hoping this one goes on a bit easier. Again, I'm sure this was a notice to passengers not to go beyond this point, I think, but some actually did. There was a story of a lady who, on the morning of April 14th, actually went to the front of the ship and watched the sunrise, and she wrote about it actually. So, did they maybe get a thing, oh, leave it, because I think she was in first class, I don't know. But she was in first class. Can't remember her name now. Right, that's on. Now what I'll probably do after these dried is put some decal softener on, and that will just adhere these to the surface, and it puts a kind of coating on. Perfect. Okay, so that's them 3 on. Right, next what we've got to do, I'm just going to move the camera again, just over here, because I didn't know if we were getting this, but we've got a platform to put on to the front. Now they want this glued in as well, so I'm going to have to get some glue at the ready. Did get my glue out, but like I said, I didn't think we were getting this, but we have, and I'm chuffed a bit because it's really going to make it sing. Okay, so I'm just trying to get back with enough glue as I can to get this on. And I want my pin vise. I'm not going to use a lot. End of the day, this is a display model. Once it's displayed, I'm not going to be getting it down and playing with it. Bit off on the end there, but I managed to get it off. Like most of these are display models. Okay, so now I've got a bit of glue on there. I can drop that railing into place. Just hold it down, hopefully the glue will take. Give it a few seconds, there we go, the glue is taken. Okay, right, the next thing we need to do is we've got the bow shrouds to put on, which are basically these bits here. So if I just turn the camera to the left, there we go. These are basically going to run from just down here up to there. Okay. Now there is a little hole just at the top of here, pretty hard to see, that apparently these are going to sit in. So it says remove the bow shrouds from the frame using a craft knife or small wire cutter, which I've done. Bend the ends of the side rails of the shoulders with pliers circled. Okay. Position the shrouds either side of the mast on the forecastle deck. Glue them to the deck and the foremast as shown, blue circles. Okay, so there is some holes down there for these to go in. So I don't think they're going to need bending that much. I'm going to use my duckbill pliers. Just off camera here, guys, sorry about this. I don't think they need to be bent too much though. Is there a notch on these as well? No, there's not. Sometimes they'll have a notch on them. Okay, so they're literally going to go onto there. Now there is a hole at the top. What is in there isn't lining up. So I'm just going to try something. If I stick the end in and then bring it down, does that bend the bit at the top, or just, yeah. Right, well I've just managed to bend that on my own off camera. So I'd advise do that. Right, so this is going to be a little bit tedious, so I'm going to get these in place and then come back to you. So back in a sec.
A few moments later.
Okay, so they are in place. They weren't hard, but yeah, you do need to bend the bottoms and then shape them in, but they are in now. Right, so the next thing we need to do, we've got some rings to put on. Now these are tiny and easily you can lose them. I actually lost one coming off, but if you can just see that we need to put on the mast and glue it on. So the first one it wants us to put on is an E1. Now that has only got like one little ringlet on it, which is going to be for the rigging. So what we need to do, these need gluing on as well. The first one's just going to go on here. So I'm just putting a dab of glue just up the top there. Now what should happen with these little ringlets is, if I can get it on my tweezers, now these tweezers I'm using are serrated and they come in handy, is we go up, like further up. Might be easier to do this by hand actually. And then we drop it down. But that's easier said than done. That really is, to get this on. Can we go, sorry my hand is in the way, a lot further up the mast? No, that's not going to work. I know I can get it on. Let's try from my right hand side. It's still quite difficult, so I'm going to try some pliers, see if that will grip it better. Yeah. Right. That's now on. Now that glue has gone off already. So I'm going to have to drop a bit more glue on there and put that into place. And what's happened as well is the glue from the things have come off and all. Don't lose faith, Mark, don't lose faith. You can do this. Right. One on there. Right. Nothing wants to stay in place. Oh, come on. Right, hold that there just for a second. Right, so we do have another two to put on. No, I'm going to do that off camera. So, the next one we put on would be A, just here. And then the next one would be B, just here. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the camera, get them done, and then I'll show you once we've done. So, back in a sec.
Eventually.
Okay guys, so I've got them, I'm going to call them ringlets really. They are now on there. Now I know, if I just move this down, that keeps coming off. When I'm doing all the rigging and everything, I'm going to put that on permanently. I just think it's going to keep coming off as I'm doing this, and it's just going to get really annoying and gumped up with tons of glue. So I'm going to use a stronger glue on this piece, back piece here, to put it in place. So what we need to move on to next is actually some Photo-Etch and some Photo-Etch bending. Oh joys. So what I plan to do is I'm going to show you what they've given us and how we use it for bending the Photo-Etch, and then I'm going to start fitting it all on. So yeah, this could be fun. So I'll pause the camera and we'll get set up ready to get Photo-Etch.
A few moments later.
Okay, so this is what we've been given. We've got these blocks here. Now these are what I'm going to call formers, and it's going to help us basically bend the Photo-Etch. So we've got like these I've got in my hand here. We've got some more here, and I think we do get some more in the next issue as well. So these are actually labelled inside. So inside here we've got an A, we've got a K, we've got an M. And this bit we've got A and we've got a B. Now basically A is going to match up with A, so we know which side to use. So all we're going to do is we're just going to get us Photo-Etch, get us a little former and push that down. Now hopefully will give us a basic enough shape that we can use on the forward bow railing. There we go. Yeah, that's almost shaped. So now we have this piece bent. It's by no, I mean, like I said, there is some flexibility on it and you're going to need it. But if I just go to the top camera now, we can bring this piece across, and because it's been bent, we can then put this piece into place. Just as you sort of line it up. And then all you need to do is literally run some glue along the side here and stick the photo etch down. So I'm going to do that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, basically I'm going to start off, I'm going to do the bow, we're going to do the whale deck. We've got some railings to go up on the stairs as well, which I'm really impressed with actually. So I'm going to get all that done. There is more to do when finished, but I'm going to break this down into chunks. So we're going to do this bit first, and then we'll start where it wants us to do the next bit. So enjoy the time lapse. guys, so here we are back with her now. I've got all the bow rails on and the rails here. I've got the handrails on for the steps. Sorry about this, I just need to sort that out. I know it looks a bit blurred, but it's not. These have really been getting in the way while doing the photo etch, and this piece here is an absolute nightmare. Why they asked her to put that on, I don't know, because it really does get in the way of working on her. So what we need to do next, which will probably be another speeded up video of me attempting this. Sorry, that's the mast. The masts on this thing just want to hit everything. So we've got some photo etch round here to do. We've got some photo etch towards the back just here to do, and some more around there. So that is gonna be fun, not really. And then once all that's been done, we've actually got some decals, more decals to put on. So I'll get all the photo etch done on a time lapse, and then we'll come back and we'll put the decals on at least one side, and then I'll do the other side off camera, and then that actually completes issue 138, which I will be glad of. So I think the best thing I'm going to do this is I'm going to actually do these offline. So I'm going to bend these previously, and then I'll record myself gluing them on to the ship. So enjoy the next time lapse. all the Photo-Etched for this issue is now installed. I'm really happy with it. The next thing we need to do, we've got the bar waterline markers to put on. These have come in as a decal, joy of joys. So we're going to try and put this one on first. Now I'm going to do the first one on camera, and then I'll do the rest because there's one at the rear to do, and then there's the other side to do. So I'm going to try and do this first one for you on camera. So as normal, I'm just wetting the edge of where this has got to go, and I'm hoping it doesn't give us too much grief. Hoping. Okay, so this has been soaking for a while. It's definitely ready to come off. So well, it was ready to come off a minute ago. So I can just get it off with my... Right, I think I've got it a bit. Right, so I've got it off. The only problem is it's decided to come off in my hand off camera. Wish it hadn't have done that. Okay, try and bring this towards it. This is not ideal at all. Just hope I've got the shape of this the right way. It does look like it.
Motion detected at the front door.
I've actually got it on the opposite way, the way it needs to be. Right guys, I'm going to get this on and be right back. As you can see, I'm not having a great time.
Eventually.
Okay, pretty hard to see, but that is now in place. So I'm going to let that dry. Like I said, there's one at the rear that we need to put on, and then there's the other side to do. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll come back over. So I'm actually going to say that this stage is complete, or this issue is complete. That was a lot to do, guys, and yeah, not the best, but yeah. So that is issue 138 complete. Well guys, that's it for issue 138 of the Titanic. That was not easy. These last few issues are going to be not the easiest to record, and I know I want to show much more of the process of doing it, guys, but it's something you have to really take your time with. But I'm pleased with how the Photo-Etched has gone on, and I'm also pleased on how the decals have gone on, because I've got all of them on now, as it has said in the magazine. So next I'm on to issue 139, and I think I've got more or less of the same. So joy of joys is just going to come ahead. Anyway guys, if you like this video, please could you give it a massive thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. You'll be notified of any future videos. But as for always, stay safe and bye for now.